welcome again to Uni channel. So today I'm going to share my experience about my Japanese company's training. So because I just finished it, my mind's still fresh, so I want to share as much information and also my experience about the training overall. So for those who haven't known, I got recruited by this Japanese company. It's an IT company last year, and then we had a training for 1 month and a half. So for those who who plans to work in a Japanese company, or that you have been recruited and then you will start working next year, I hope that this video can help you guys to just kind of know what kind of the training will be like, so you can expect what to do and what to prepare. So it's a very rare case that because of the COVID-19 I am taking the training online. So usually you have to go to the company almost every day, and then basically you will not be working. It will basically kind of like just like a summer camp. It's easier to imagine. So you will not go to any of the department. In some cases you will know which department that you will go, but in my cases I did not know which department I would go. So okay, going back, so in my case it's online, so the experience might be different than what we'll expect next year. However, the essence of the training itself is the same. First is to just to make friends. I won't say make friends, but to know who's your colleagues, and that's very important. Just like when you enroll in your university in the first year as a freshman, you kind of you want to know everybody, and it's easy to make friends because everyone is feeling new environment, and it's important to make friends at the very early stages, because then they will be the one who will help you along the journey, like in your career journey. Okay, so make a good relationship with your colleague. You might not like some colleagues, but then make a good relationship. Second is to know about the company rules, and this is very important. And actually in my very first week they focus a lot for this rules, like what are the compliances in general, what are the rules in terms of, let's say, like when you do your job, if you want to make kind of proposal, there's a department called compliance department that will check your proposal, your contract, and everything else. And of course is the rules that maybe not spoken, for example how you should be dressed, and in Japanese it's called business mana, so business manner in general. So for example the usage of keigo, Japanese formal, like formal Japanese, and also like how to write. So basically like that. My first week basically like that. And then the third is to know more about the company. And of course when you did your job hunting, you already had you kind of research about this company, and this time they will talk again about the same thing, but maybe in more details about what kind of business that they do, what kind of products do they have, that kind of thing. And after that they will actually separate you into groups. So going by fourth is actually there's a lot of group works in the training itself, and I think there was like 2 or 3. Yeah. So what I did in my training is basically that to actually make a presentation, and then I think there's a lot of presentations training in here. For example, so we already know about what the company do, so we have to make presentation for what each department does. So at the time I was in charge of security department, so we have to make a PPT of explaining, okay, what our department do, what kind of products do we do, what kind of, or basically like that. So you assume that you are employee inside security department and trying to introduce your department out to outsiders. And pretty much that's the group work. And what else? Fifth, I think, oh, we actually had quite relaxed time. I'm not sure because of online or not, or whether if it's not online there will not be a relaxed time. So here is basically like a self-study time. I was enrolled in kind of like Udemy. So Udemy is a platform of where there are a lot of courses that you are free to enroll in, and because my company actually has kind of like contract, so we can have infinite access to every courses. So we kind of like have 3 days. So in the morning we didn't do anything but just like enroll in Udemy and just choose what any kind of video that we want to enroll, what kind of skill up that you want to learn. For example, Excel, PowerPoint, or how to make a presentation. So a lot of free time as well. Actually, not free time because you have to study, right? They give you the time to study, so self-study time. And then okay, the sixth one is that you will maybe have some presentation from seniors in the company. So some of the employees will introduce about what kind of job they do, and maybe giving advices or like a look about what they do every day, every week, and then like Q&A session. So what others in terms of training? Oh, and maybe that some will, in my case there was like a life planning session, so you have to kind of like write what do you want to be in the next 5 years in this company. For example, you want to make a career change, you want to change from this department to this department, or that maybe you want to have a skill up in here and that. It's not very easy to do that, but that they didn't actually because it's a training time, they just want to you getting used to it, because life planning will be asked every year, so they want just you to know how you should do it. Okay, so that's basically what kind of training that I got. So how do I feel about it? First of all, if you work in a Japanese environment. Okay, so most of my colleagues are Japanese. Some will be very passive, some will be very active. In my company's case, everyone was pretty active, like not very passive. But I heard from some of my other friends during the group work, you might feel like it's very peaceful. No one is actually giving any opinion. So yeah. So usually I heard that because this is online and it's done with Zoom, the HR department have like they will evaluate how your progress during the group work. And maybe if it's not online, you feel more pressure, but because it's online, then sometimes you don't need to show yourself. So I'm not sure whether like the HR evaluate that much. But then yeah, so try to be active maybe during the group work and try not to make any fuss about it. And also during the training period, actually they also test whether that you show up on time every time. And being late is a big deal in a Japanese company, like it's especially during the first year. Oh, and it's also important, they also explain about the fukurikose. So fukurikose is basically like the company benefits that they have in general, and then also about taxes, about the salary. Yeah, so they explain about it, not very deep because there are so many. So they just say that actually there's a benefit like this, you can just choose what you want, just to know more. And also they explain about system. So each company might have different systems, Shanai system. So for example, if you want to get reimbursed for your transportation fee, okay, how to do that? What system to log in and to log out? And how to, so usually when you start working, in the past you have like beep beep, that kind of thing to I start working and I stop working. But because my company uses everything online, there are many systems that you need to get used to. So the training will also include that in general. And that's all about like non-technical training, right? So because I'm an IT company, there's another IT literacy training. So a little bit of programming, and more of it is actually listening to lecture about words, jargons that's commonly used in IT. Yeah, basically like that. And also another group work again, like in my case, how to make a server system. Basically just kind of like, what we have learned in the part in the 1 week, and then try to um, implement that in group work. Okay, so that's basically the rough thing that I did during the training period so far. So the good thing about it is that actually you get to know about your colleagues, and you want to know which colleagues that will help you, like, and which colleagues that maybe you do not want to bother with. So that's very important. Not very good thing, I won't say not very good thing, but kind of like semaranai, like a little bit boring, is that maybe during the first 2 weeks my colleagues were very very passive, didn't really like to like speak. So I'm not sure whether you like it or not. In my case, I didn't really enjoy that atmosphere. So the first week to second week atmosphere might be a little bit like cold, but once the ice breaks, then everybody gets more get used to speaking out and giving out opinions. So yeah, I think that's basically what the training purpose is. So don't expect that you will know all the system in in just 1 month, and don't expect yourself that you will you have to master Keigo in during the training period. That will be very very good, but then my principle is that like it will be different once you go to the work. So the training is, it can be fun in some way, it cannot be fun in some way, because you did not really go to work, right? You do not really work. But then I still got a full salary, and that's the good part. Really, it's like a summer camp, but then you did not pay anything, they pay for you. So Japanese company really put a lot of funds and for training new employees. So try to work hard and make use of it. Yeah, so if you have any questions in particular to ask about the training in general, maybe that's something that I haven't answered in today's video, please do comments below, and I will try to make another video specifically for the Q&A of the training. Yes, thank you. Bye.